In this society, generally speaking, uh, the most average person only knows about one side of this dog culture. They only know that dogs are man's best friend. Whatever they know about dogs is what they seen in the movies and the TV shows. Most dog nutters and the average person, they know nothing about the dog attacks that happen every day. They don't know about the many deaths done by dogs every day. They don't know about the diseases dogs cause. They don't know the fact that many of these dog nut owners have been attacked and killed by their dogs. And all the average person knows is that dogs are man's best friend. Even if they don't own a dog, all they know is dogs are man's best friend. When that is far, very far from the truth. When you dive in to this dog culture, you are faced with a very different perspective of dog culture from what they have given you. You are faced with a dog culture that is very sick. You see the mentally ill side of it. You see the sadistic side. You see the disrespectful side. You see, many parents basically offering up their babies, their children to dogs. And the average person and the average dog nutter, they don't see that because certain stories don't make the major headlines. Many of these stories that I share, anyone else shares, doesn't reach many people. You know, what reaches people are celebrity news, sports news, politics news. Despite dog attacks being on the rise worldwide, despite so many complaints about dogs worldwide, this dog culture, the true perspective of this dog culture has been kept hidden. It has been kept hidden from the people, from societies. I've stated this in a previous video about there being stigma in this dog culture. Some people don't know anything about dogs, but somehow there's a stigma for people to not like dogs when not liking dogs, that perspective is buried underneath. It's not out in the open. So how is there such stigma for something that is, so, in the dark? Because all we see and hear is dog love. Dogs are friendly. Dog nuts walking their dogs. You see these, dogs on TV, in the cartoons, in the movies that make people love and like dogs and side with dogs. But in the real world, it's nothing like that. It is far worse than the movies and the TV shows. And there are many people that just don't like dogs and that are afraid to speak up. But somehow, even though it's not talked about, there is a stigma of not liking dogs. Even though we only see one perspective, only the one perspective of dog culture. After attack and attack, there's only been one major perspective out in the open. But yet, people are afraid to say they hate dogs. People are afraid to say they hate dogs. And that leaves everyone with this false perspective of dog culture, where you just have to like them. Like, you just have to like dogs. You can hate people. You can hate weathers. You can hate colors. You can hate politicians. You can hate cars. You can hate countries, certain events. You can hate teachers, students. You can hate different types of foods. You can hate cats and their animals. But somehow, it's like we can't hate dogs. Somehow it's forbidden to hate dogs. How does that even start? When no one rarely talks about dogs in such a way. I just find it very strange. But anyways, I like to give my perspective of dog culture. And my perspective of dog culture is hatred. I hate it. And while I give my perspective, I do, tell the truth. I do show the truth. Show the facts about dog culture. Show the evidence. Show examples. Many stories. The stats. The facts about dog culture. I show even testimonials and comments from dog lovers. From my perspective. That being said, a few things I want to touch base on. First thing I want to talk about is 9 reasons why people give up their dogs. It's really dogs that they usually give up. One reason is time factor, lack of experience. So why do they get dogs anyways? Again, this goes back to what I just said. They see it on TV, they see it in the movies, and they think it's, so easy. But then they realize dogs in real life are nothing like TV. And honestly, some dogs in TV are pretty good. There's some dogs in TV that are really good. And I just wish dogs in the TV can, be what dogs are. I wish dogs in real life can be what dogs are on the TV. Some of them. I think dog culture would be so much better if we have, these intelligent dogs in real life. But unfortunately, we are stuck with the dim-witted, worthless mutts that we have today. Changed life situation, animal health and age. This is a big one. A lot of these so-called dog lovers, as soon as their worthless mutt, can't give them a certain amount of attention, can't do certain tasks, they just toss them out. But is that really so bad? One example of like people discarding animals is horse racing. From what I heard, in horse racing, as soon as a horse is unable to run, they kill it and sell its meat to wherever. They just kill it. And same for any other races involving animals. They just kill it. How about the running of the bulls? They just kill the bull. And the list goes on. But with dogs, even though they or just dumping the dog somewhere else or banning the dog somewhere else, a lot of dog nutters still find that offensive. While natural animals, for absolutely nothing, are getting killed and slaughtered, but no one is saying anything about that. A lot of these horse races, the horses are treated horrible. In the rodeos, these animals are treated horrible. And as soon as they can't perform or when the performance is done, they just kill them. But, rodeos in like Calgary, it's like a multi-million-dollar business industry. And for the most part, majority of people don't say anything. Coca-Cola, all these big corporations, they sponsor the Calgary Rodeo or the Calgary Stampede or whatever you want to call it. And for the most part, we go, no one cares. But as soon as we want to, abandon a dog or kill a dog, there's an uproar. And I'm going to touch base on the Yolen Dog Meat Festival and eating dog food in a minute. And it's just ironic how dogs, something so worthless, could have so much sympathy, compassion. People are, banning the dog meat festivals, while many animals are being sponsored by these big corporations and are getting slaughtered left to right, abused left to right. And it's like, who cares? But as soon as another country it wants to eat dog meat, it's a problem. They get banned, they get outlawed, there's an uproar, there's all this nonsense. And a lot of it is banned, but with dog culture, even if you just abandon a dog, the dog nuts take full offense to that. They take full offense to you just abandoning the dog, while real natural animals are being abused for fun, for pleasure. And in these rodeos or stampedes, guess which worthless mutt? Guess which worthless thing they use? They use the worthless mutt in them to help attack and maul these animals. It's so ironic how dogs get a full pass, but as soon as someone wants to abandon it or drop it off, there's an uproar. If anything, these dog nuts are doing these dogs a favor. They're at least giving these dogs another chance at eating off of someone else. Anyways, also boredom, disinterest kind of goes with the animal health and age, unwanted litters, behavioral issues, financial factor, profitable, that goes back to dogs and this dog industry being a multi-billion or multi-trillion dollar industry. At the end of the day, it's about making bank. A lot of these dog nuts, pit bull nutters, bully tards, it's all about making that bank. All about making the bank. Yeah, and I was searching for the Yolen Dog Meat Festival for this year, but I didn't find much. Did not find if it's happening this year. I didn't find anything. But it's funny how one country or a couple countries, they eat dog meat. And we have other countries that want to stop them from eating dogs. Oh, it's how they, abuse the animal when they cook it. You guys do the same exact thing at these rodeos. You abuse these animals, even worse. If anything, the animals in the rodeos, they experience far worse than these dogs. What do these dogs get? They get clunked in the head. And they put out their miseries pretty fast. But the sheep, the goats, the cows, the horses, they have to suffer for a long time. a long time, while the dogs get to mock and terrorize them. This article says, despite consistent pressure from animal rights activists and organizations, the dog meat trade industry is still very much alive and active in several countries in 2024. So what? So what? You eat meat, you eat chicken. This is a vegan site. I'm talking like the dog nuts. They eat chicken, they eat meat. They buy dog food for these dogs. Well, all of a sudden you can't eat dog meat? Someone else can't eat dog meat? I mean, imagine these countries saying, ban the chicken, ban the cow. You dog must be laughing at them, be like, haha, yeah, right. But as soon as they want to eat dog meat, you find that offensive. Along with the ethical and social concerns of eating dog meat, many organizations have highlighted the health risks of consuming dog meat, which include transmission of diseases, foodborne illnesses, infections, and more. So now all of a sudden, now they care about diseases. Now they care about diseases. When they're living in these homes and groping and having intercourse with these dogs, giving them mouth-to-mouth kisses, having the dog lick on them, all of a sudden now they care about diseases. Now they care about diseases all of a sudden when someone else is enjoying dogs. Now they want to use the disease. They use diseases as a reason why the dog meat trade should be outlawed. It's difficult to confirm the exact amount of dogs that are killed per year in the trade, as the nature of the trade in most countries is now illegal. Why though? Obviously I know why, but it's like, why? As in, why are dogs illegal in other countries? But any other animal, it can be slaughtered easily. It's estimated that millions of dogs are killed each year for human consumption. What about the millions of chickens and cows and goats and pigs that are slaughtered for human consumption? What about that? What about the thousands of horses and cattle that are abused at these rodeos and stampedes? Estimate that the number of dogs killed each year can be as high as 30 million. So what? What is the dog meat trade? The dog meat trade is an industry which dogs are both legally and illegally, depending on the country, bred, stolen, slaughtered for human consumption, despite animal rights activists campaigning to ban dog meat across several countries. The trade is still common in several regions worldwide. They go about how are dogs killed. A key cause of concern in the trade is both how dogs are kept and killed, with some countries introducing legislation restriction to help stop the trade and consumption of dog meat. The practice has been moved underground in areas that has been controlled by criminal gangs. Dogs are killed using various methods, including but not limited to beating, electrocution, strangulation, poisoning, hanging, and slaughterhouse methods. Again, slaughterhouse methods, the chicken, the pigs, the cows, they go through that as well. In these rodeos, these animals are strangled, their limbs are dislocated, their jaws are dislocated, they are terrorized by dogs. I mean, why is one thing bad but the other thing isn't? Electrocution, I'm pretty sure in these rodeos and elsewhere in these horse racing, these animals, I'm not 100% sure, but don't quote me on this. I guarantee that they use some form of shock or electrocution to these animals as well. But it's happening to dogs, so now has to stop with dogs. But anything else, it's free game. Still legal in China, South Korea, India, Vietnam, Indonesia. Despite international pressure from other countries and the animal rights groups alike, the trade and the sale of dog meat for consumption is not illegal in China, although changes to reduce animal cruelty has been made by the government, strong cultural and social factors. Yolin Leech and Dog Meat Festival. Despite international pressure and petition from the Humane Society International that gathered 11 signatures, the Yolin Leech Dog Meat Festival, which began in 2009, is still held annually. It's a 10-day period, and over 10,000 worthless mutts are slaughtered and consumed for the event each year. So what? So what? And they're using their celebrities to end the dog meat trade. But these same dog nuts are okay with chickens and etc. being slaughtered for their dogs, but other people can't eat dogs. And I know what this is about. This is about dog nutters, just being dog nuts. That's what it is. But anyway, I didn't see any dates for this year for the Yolin Dog Meat Festival. I don't know. I think Google is probably hiding it. Maybe it's still probably going on. But I really do hope it is. I do hope it is. Because just to be fair. Just to be fair, and I guess also with my hatred towards dogs, it should continue. It should continue. This is in India. Yeah. Anyways, Rottweiler attack, 850 pet license issued after Chennai Corporation makes it mandatory. Again, they're using these types of things as if that's actually going to prevent attacks. Like, you give someone a license, they pay money for the license. Do you think that's really going to prevent attacks? It's not as if the dog knows about the license and it knows, hey, my owner has a license, so I can't attack. It's not like that. So they're going to give someone a piece of paper thinking, hey, this can prevent dog attacks. Okay. In regards to pet owners are urged to obtain an anti-rabies vaccination certificate. If the pets haven't received the vaccine for any reason, they can reach out to the zonal veterinarian officers. Got to get a license. Now everything needs to be vaccinated. But still, attacks will continue to happen. So they increased the license from 120 to 850 in the last few days. There's many applications, the process, yada, yada, yada. But you know what this is about, though. And they're using the rabies as an excuse. This is about attacks. Has to be about attacks. And knowing how ignorant dog culture is, and how they're filled with excuses, they're going to use the rabies excuse for dog attacks. So this is what it's about. They still want people to have these dangerous things in their possession. You can take the license, get your thing vaccinated, you can keep your dangerous thing, and if it does attack, we could blame it on the rabies. Even if it did get shot, we can blame it on the owner. But then again, we can still keep these things in our communities. Urgent attention to animal bites crucial in rabies prevention. They're blaming it on rabies. Stray animals, including dogs and cats, pose the risk of transmitting the rabies, a typically fatal disease, making prompt medical attention crucial after a bite. So why even have these things in our society? I said this before, but I'm going to say it again. If you know that these things have these things, these diseases, why even allow them to remain in our communities? Why risk it? Why risk it? I mean, we know dogs are filthy and disgusting. But they keep dogs in the communities. Stray dogs, whether they're owned or not. And people are still getting attacked. And it's not just the attack, it's the diseases. The airborne diseases. The pollution that these dogs cause. The smells. Why keep something like this in our communities? Why do it? Check this one out. Dog abandoned with teary eyes and a note saying, "She's a good puppy, finds a home." Saying she's a good puppy, finds a home. 5-month worthless mutt was left tied to a pole outside of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia headquarters. That's it? This is a puppy? And is it surprising that it's another bully breed? It's a Cane Corso. That's a Cane Corso? Okay. It's a good puppy. Housebroken, don't have a name. How about worthless mutt? Anyways, a 5-month worthless mutt was abandoned outside Pennsylvania animal shelter with nothing but a note declaring it a good worthless mutt. Days later, she found her forever home. Worthless mutt was nameless. Who cares? But just, it's funny yet again. Sure, this is a Cane Corso. Is this a Cane Corso? I mean, if dogs are so wonderful and so perfect in all this, just discuss that there are many reasons why people give them away. But if they were so good and everything and perfect and better than people and all that, then why would a list and such reasons exist to why people give away dogs? And here we have a story again. A story of another dog, worthless mutt, abandoned. And it has to find a forever home because these dogs are worthless and they're dangerous to society. They're worthless. They can't take care of themselves. They're incompetent. They're brain damaged mutants. That's why this person abandoned them. And that's why it needs a home. Because it's worthless and it's incompetent. And it's too dangerous to be living in public in society. We don't know the true reason why this thing was abandoned. But I'm probably guessing that this thing was trouble. Like they all are trouble. A lot of these dog nuts and pit nutters and bully tars, they think owning these dogs, any dog, is going to be easy. And then they find out, no, it's not easy. And this is where, again, the stigma comes in, where some people, they hate dogs, they dislike dogs, but they'll go and get a dog anyways, just to fit in. And then guess what? They abandon the dog. This one occurred early this year, Jan 9, 2024. Aussie Gold Hunter star dog shot dead by the police. A dog belonging to a popular TV star was shot dead by police after he attacked a police officer and was a suspect in Washington. Police have shot a dog belonging to a former TV personality after it attacked an officer and a man during an arrest in Perth early on Tuesday. West Australian police said the dog attacked the man and the female officer about 9:30 a.m. while taking a man in his 30s to custody at an address in Strayton. The dog, which belonged to the Aussie Gold Hunters personality Rob Dale, was shot dead by a male officer during the chaos in order to prevent further injury. The man who was arrested is believed to have been bitten on one of his legs, and the female officer received injuries of her hand and her legs. Both were taken into Midland Hospital. Man's best friend. You think if the police, they came into someone else's house and they had a cat, you think they would, have to shoot the cat? 200% chance they would not need to shoot the cat. But it's only with dogs that the police always have to somehow shoot dogs. Dogs are man's best friends. Dogs are friendly, but yet they're always getting shot by the police. So why don't the police, I don't know, it's just fun. I don't know, it's funny though. How they just put these dogs on a pedestal and act as if they're perfect. They're harmless, but yet police are shooting them. Police are shooting them because dogs are dangerous. Dogs are coming at them. So that's what they have to do. If they take any more chances, they would get mauled. So these dogs, again, they don't belong in our society. They're just too brain dead. They're too brain dead. They're brain dead. They're too dumb. They're worthless, they're incompetent, they're brain damaged mutants. That's it for now. There's a few things that I wanted to share and also, again, give you my perspective on. But anyways, I am Gore the Dog Butcher, another worthless mutts, and remember, it's okay to hate dogs.